You are now locked in to the Beyond the Hashtag podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Beyond the Hashtag. This is episode, I think we're on episode 15 now, but whatever number we're on, we're just vibing, right? We're vibing. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting us throughout all the episodes, all the love that you lot have been showing, especially in the most recent episodes, the YouTube, the Spotify. I appreciate it. Today, we've got a very special episode coming at you with a very special guest. Got a man like Kevin Wright in the building, all the way from Sweden. How you doing, bro?
Come on, yeah, not bad, man. Same old.
Good.
Surviving, working hard as always, and just happy to be on the podcast.
Happy to have you, bro. For those of you who don't know, Kevin is a footballer, current professional footballer, plays in Sweden for Örebro. Did I pronounce that right? Örebro?
Yeah, I done alright.
Yeah.
Ain't got the Swedish accent.
Yeah, it's a bit techie still. Yeah. So you play for Örebro and Sierra Leone internationally as well. But Kevin's actually born and raised in England, in London, actually east side of London. And we actually went to school together, so that's how I know Kevin from back day. So yeah, this episode we're just going to talk about Kevin being sort of growing up in London and England, and moving abroad as a professional footballer. Obviously, those of you on the visuals will see he's a black footballer, so there's a lot of impact that has just as a status, and as relating to this podcast and the issues that we talk about. And yeah, just getting a flavour of some of his experiences, what he's been through, and yeah, just whatever he can share with us from what he's been through in his career. So yeah, without much ado, we'll get into the pod. Before you guys listen on, just make sure you've liked and subscribed to the YouTube and the Spotify and all that good stuff. The housekeeping. To keep us going and keep the pod spreading to all your friends and family. Yeah, Kevin, we'll start off with just a bit about. Actually, no. First of all, congratulations, because I saw you completed your degree in sports management.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, how was that? How was that? Let us know, like how that was, like doing that whilst playing, etc.
It was a very long journey, It was a 4-year degree in business and sports management. So it was long journey, but I was very happy to get to the end, obviously. I just thought it was important as a footballer, especially as a black footballer, just to have an education, because I feel like obviously the football career is short. So you last around probably like 35, and then after football, you have to have different pathways, different things that you want to invest in. And me, I'm a very hardworking person. I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket. So I just felt it was important as a black footballer to have an education, because how the system like to obviously label as uneducated, and so me, I'm the kind, I don't want to put myself as at a disadvantage, so I'm gonna give myself every opportunity to be successful in everything I do. So that's the decision for doing that degree.
No, that's really good, and that's powerful, bro. And it's good to hear you, even already at your age, your mid-20s, but already thinking about life after football and getting yourself sorted on that front. And how was the experience, sort of doing it whilst playing? Like, did you do it like literally while you were still playing and competing, or were you off for a little bit? Like, how did that work?
Yeah, so it was an online degree, distance, at Hertfordshire University. It's just a thing where you do like modules online, you do essays online, and you just submit it. Yeah. So I can do it from the computer. In terms of balancing football and uni, to be fair, I have a lot of free time. I train probably times a day, and then in the evenings there's not much for me to be doing. So just a thing where just spending my time productively.
Focus, yeah.
I can't act like I've done everything on time, Me, I'm a
bro, none of us did at uni, bro. None of us did.
No, I've got some stories, games, after game, on the coach, the Wi-Fi.
Right,
the Wi-Fi is working. I'm just referencing. I'm just online trying to copy things, referencing. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I feel like uni is just, it's character building. It's part of the hustle, So me, I embrace every experience, and obviously I learned a lot from uni. But I'm most definitely happy it's under my belt. But I'm happy it's over.
Yeah, no, that's a powerful story, bro. Definitely about your experiences at uni, and especially balancing that with your career. Obviously, you have more free time than the average person will have, but still putting your mindset to that and having that focus on not just what's going to come in the next 10, 15 years, but even after that and beyond that. Because, as you said, football is a very short career, as good as it can be in that short period of time, but it is only short, so you got to look further than that. So, no, big up to you, bro, and blessings on that.
Obviously, I just got it just to have it in case, just to have in my belt. I'm a person that feels like you just got to be smart with your time, So I'm not saying 100% going to use the degree. Many people don't use it, but just to have it there, whether I use it or not, that's another story. But
yeah,
I think it's important.
No, facts, bro. Let's move a bit onto the football side of things. First of all, drop the real pronunciation for Orebro in the Swedish.
Yes, just Orebro. Sounds like the drink. That
I am brew. Yeah. Okay. So how's your how long you been with them now? Like a few years now.
2.5 seasons.
Yeah, 2.5 years. Yeah. So how's like your career been with them so far? Update. I know you were injured recently, so how's the recovery going for that? And just how's the lifestyle been in Sweden since moving?
Yeah, I think in terms of football, it's been a step up in my career. It's the top division, so it's big stadiums, a lot of fans. When we play teams like in the capital, Stockholm, you can get 30,000 fans. When you play teams like Malmo, in the Europa League, and teams like Östersund. So there's many big teams in Sweden, and where it's top division, it's watched by the majority of Sweden, So it's a good level, and I feel like because I started in the second division in Sweden, when I came out here, it was my objective to play in the top division.
Yeah.
So I done that. I played in second division, done my thing, got bought by this team. So it was a blessing, and yeah, obviously this is just one other step in my career.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to push on soon. I'm working hard every day, but in terms of the level I'm at now, I feel like it was a good stepping stone for me.
No, that's solid, bro. And the fact that you worked your way through the divisions in Sweden, like obviously we hear stories about people working their way through up the divisions in England, like from whether it's conference to League 1, League 2 to Championship, and then to Prem. But even to do that in another country, it's a whole other mindset in general. And how was even that first? Because you started off at, again, pronunciation, but Fredrikstad, or like that team in the second division, right?
Yeah, Fredrikstad. That was actually in Norway.
Oh, that was in Norway, right? So who was?
That was my first team abroad.
Yeah.
I went to Norway. I went there. It's like a little small town, 1 hour from Oslo.
Yeah.
That experience, it was a funny one. I went there. Obviously, I'm getting used to the lifestyle. I'm getting used to the playing style.
Yeah.
Pre-season, I come in. I'm just getting used to it. I played like 2 games. I didn't play good, but I didn't play bad.
Yeah.
So I played games and then after like 3 games, I see one Ghanaian boy, one short Ghanaian boy just walking to the room. Like my position, I'm a left back, innit? So when you see a short black Ghanaian boy,
you're thinking,
this guy's not a goalkeeper. He's either a winger or a left back.
Yeah.
They brought in a left back. So he was a bit older than me. He was experienced in the league. I don't know why they brought in a new left back. I don't think, maybe the manager wasn't feeling me. So I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing so much. I played the first game of the season, done well, got an assist, and then after that I was on the bench, which was a weird one. So there was a thing where I had to just stay to the summer and then go elsewhere. But I did use the time productively, because even though I wasn't playing in the first team, I was playing some reserve games, which isn't the fun. At the same time,
it's the grind, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the grind. Sometimes you got duty you got to do. Like, some you could sit there and sulk and say, "Oh, why am I not playing?" But me, I thought I'm out here now, so I might as well make the most of the opportunity I've got. So I was training extra hard. I was doing my extras. I was doing my technical, and then and then I got the move in summer, and because my work that I'd put in previously, I was ready to take that opportunity. So I started in Fredrikstad. Then I went to the second division in Sweden, a team called Bush.
And then you made it up to where you are now. One thing you mentioned actually, that I want to maybe get a bit deeper into, was about when you saw the other Ghanaian guy, you're like, okay, he's not a centre back, he's probably not a centre mid or whatever. It's probably like a winger or a left back. This relates to one of the listeners' questions that came in from one of our listeners called Jamie, and he was basically asking about how much have you noticed about managers pushing like black players in general into kind of more physical positions like wing where you need speed, or like maybe DM where you need like a lot of strength, because obviously we probably know our listeners will know that I speak a lot about commentators and pundits who refer to black players, you know, as pace and power all the time. Like everything they do is just pace and power. Like you can have Yaya Toure, who, you know, is techie and does this and that, but everyone just knows him for pace and power. So like coming up through the ranks, you know, Chelsea and then Norway and Sweden, like how much have you actually seen and noticed like just black players immediately, whatever they do, however techie they are, is straight wing or like a DM kind of tough position?
I think growing up in Chelsea, it was quite mixed, you know. I feel like they give everyone an opportunity to play in every position. So yeah, I played many positions when I was growing up. When I was 10, I played left mid, I played left back. So I played a few different positions. In terms of them pushing black people in certain positions, no, I feel like one thing I have noticed with football, I feel like they see black people as obviously very physical, and I feel like they see them as they can obviously run for time. That's one. They see black people as they can run for time. They can run a lot, you know. So sometimes, in terms of, I feel like injuries and running and sprinting, sometimes you have to obviously let them know like my body's feeling it, or you have to communicate. I feel like that's more in the first team level, but growing up in the academy, I didn't really see, there wasn't much difference, to be honest. Everyone, the white players, the black players, everyone played all positions, and it was quite it was fair, to be fair.
Okay, no, that's quite good to hear actually, and I guess that's a good thing about the academies, and when you're in that setup, I guess maybe that that thought and that mentality probably comes from like us who don't play at that level, and it's like Sunday league. So if you go to Sunday league, it's straight like, you know, the black guys getting put on the wing, like the techie white guys probably get put in centre mid, and then like if you're techie, they're gonna put you in a techie position. Like if you're a techie footballer, they'll put you in centre midfield. If you're dead, like you're doing with your touches down here. That's left back or right back straight. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like it's based on your ability, to be fair.
No, it's true. Going back to just a last bit about your move abroad. So how was it actually settling down there, especially Sweden and Norway, in terms of like the lifestyle, even stuff like food, and then secondly, kind of being a black person in those countries, where again, not even that there's a high level of racism, but just the fact that there's not that many people that look like you in general.
Yeah, so Degerfors, that one was very difficult for me, because Degerfors just probably got like 2,000 people or 3,000 people. Probably one of the smallest towns in Sweden. Yeah. So there's not much to do there. I think there's like 2 restaurants. There's a shop. There's like one shop closes 9 o'clock.
A village, literally.
Village. So many old people. There's a couple cemeteries and that. It's a crazy place. But in terms of when I was there, obviously I went there on a mission, you know, so it wasn't too bad for me. I was there. I was in the gym. I was training. I was doing my extras. I was watching clips. I was really focused. So I spent a lot of the time just improving my game and trying to make it happen. And obviously I had the uni on the side as well. So
Yeah.
I found ways to keep occupied. It was one of them towns like, I don't think there's Degerforge, that place in particular. They're not really so used to black people, and you can kind of tell by the way they look at you. You know, where they're not kind of Swedish people. They're very reserved, you know, so they're not gonna up out and start shouting at you. But in that town, the way they look at you like look at this guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, walking in your do-rag or your hoodie, but the town I'm in now is a bit more diverse. You know, there's a lot of East Africans here, a few West Africans, so it's a bit more multicultural. And obviously Stockholm, that's the capital. Which I'm too. There's quite a lot of black people there as well. Yeah,
I've been to Stockholm. Stockholm's cool.
Yeah, we've got like a little community. There's like a little community there, a few African shops, and it was nice. It was obviously a change, but it was good to settle in Sweden. In terms of the food, like me, my favorite food, like plantain. Like plantain, rice and peas. I like Jamaican food, rice, peas, oxtail. So in terms of that, it's difficult to find out, but I took some seasonings from London to settle myself down, and
I hear it.
Yeah, it was alright. It was not.
Do you cook yourself? Do you chef it up in the kitchen?
Yeah, I'm a chef, you know.
Yes.
Cook up. Depends though. When I first came here, I wasn't the best.
Yeah.
But you
learn, innit?
Yeah, you learn. But when you're cooking for one, you don't always. Sometimes me right now, I just cook to survive. You know.
Yes.
And that for chicken, season it quickly.
And it's there. Yeah.
Broccoli. I don't make my food with love. You know. But I've got. Listen, I'll season it the night before. I'll prepare it well. Properly, presentation. Yeah. Just my vibes.
Nah, I hear it. Cool. Moving on a little bit to I guess a bit about your heritage, like where you come from, and relating to your playing career now. So, there's a couple articles that I read from the guys in that Athletics. So they're like a football what's it called, football media agency, and they had a couple articles about black British players being born obviously in Britain, but they're moving or playing for a country abroad. So like people like Wes Morgan, Ola Aina, Alex Iwobi, and for listeners and readers, I'll put that into the description below for that article. But he basically spoke about like how much pride you get in even just singing and standing for national anthem of like the other country, or like just the pride that you get from like representing a country that isn't England, like the new doors it opens, like that kind of thing. So obviously you play for Sierra Leone, and first of all on the pod I'll say congratulations for you lot qualifying for AFCON, first time in 26 years. So that was before you was even born. Like it's mad. Like it's a sick achievement. But yeah, I just wanted to dive into that experience in general, getting into like how you even got like picked up by Sierra Leone, making the decision to play for them, and then the experience since then, and obviously the height of the experience has been qualifying for AFCON.
So how I ended up playing for Sierra Leone, it's a funny one. So a guy I knew from the area, his name's Chris. He was part of the Sierra Leone national team setup. He was like the team manager. And I had two friends that had previously played for Sierra Leone, Ozzy, a guy called Ozzy and a guy called Ali Cisse. They're my friends from London, and they're both from Sierra Leone. So they're the ones who told me about, obviously, the national team, told me about their experiences. And I've always been interested in playing for Sierra Leone, but I just felt like I wanted to wait for the right time, you know. I wanted to wait till I was a good level, so I can bring as much to the country as possible.
Yeah.
So I felt like, once I got to the top division, I thought, like, it's time to make it happen. It's time to make the step up, you know?
Yeah.
So I knew it was the African Cup of Nations qualifiers, but I missed the start of the tournament because I wasn't on the boards. But then there was a friendly against Mauritania, which is a country, I think it's in East. Is it East?
Yeah, kind of East-ish, yeah.
Which is right next to the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
And obviously I hadn't played for Sierra Leone before, so I said, let me go and show what I can do, because obviously we had games against Nigeria after that.
Yeah.
So I said, let me go show what I can do in this Mauritania game and adapt to the African football. So I went there now. I played 90 minutes. I done well. We lost the game 2-1, but I played well.
Yeah.
Obviously, luckily they invited me back to the games against Nigeria, which was great.
The 4-4, innit?
The 4-4, yeah, exactly. Crazy experience. So it's always an honor to play for your country. And you know the way Africans, they love football.
Yeah.
So even at the airport, it was like the reception we got was
mad,
unreal, you know.
Yeah.
Unreal. Like the people showing you love, jumping around, singing your name. You know, it just inspires you, and it reminds you why you play football.
Yeah.
You obviously see the little kids there, football in the street, just playing for the love of the game. And the way they look up to you, it's like you're kind of like their inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for us to qualify for the African Cup of Nations, obviously it wasn't just for the team, it was for the country, because it was obviously young players playing on the street. It will give them motivation when they see their country playing in the African Cup of Nations, playing against Egypt, maybe Morocco,
Nigeria,
maybe Senegal.
Yeah.
It will be like, listen, it's time for us to work extra hard so that can be us one day. So it's really, I feel like the benefits and the joy you get out of playing for your African home country, it's amazing. And I feel like you mentioned before, people like Ola, people like Alex Iwobi, they kind of set the way for that, because like you said, me, I've never been on England's books.
Yeah.
But I know them. I feel like they had the choice.
The choice,
Wait for England and this or go to Africa. They go to Africa, and obviously speaking to them, they don't regret that decision, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was a great decision.
Nah, it's good, bro. Definitely. Other than obviously my allegiance is to Ghana, I'm definitely going to be cheering you lot on in January, fam. Like obviously, and even just touching on that, bro. Even like people making the choice, like I'm even like as a Ghanaian football fan myself, like I want to see people like Eddie Nketiah, like Tariq Lamptey, people like that, like go to Ghana. Obviously, Callum Hudson-Odoi was in Ghana in summer, so I'm hoping that he's gonna make that switch. Like it's refreshing to see more people like us basically who are born and raised in this country, but like still have a big attachment to their heritage and wanting to go back home and give back and show essentially where we've come from, where like, you know, parents, grandparents have come from, and giving back to those people and inspiring that next generation.
Yeah, I feel like you said, once a few players make the step, it's just a cycle, you know. Now obviously we qualify for African Cup of Nations. It's gonna be a thing where I reckon more Sierra Leone players, the top players, they'll be more tempted to come play for Sierra Leone because they're in a major tournament. And that's how the country grows, and that's how the football in the country grows, the economy grows, everything grows. So it's going to be a long process, but I feel like it's just about taking, in Africa, it's about taking little steps to develop the country. And obviously football brings people together.
No, facts, big facts. And then bringing it back actually to people in England, so the people who, let's say, made the choice but went the other way. So I don't know if you played with anyone who was in the last England squad like for the Euros, but obviously I know you played with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, so obviously he was at the last World Cup. And again, I don't know who else you played with, but just those kind of people, like what do you make like when you kind of see them, not even in a negative way, but as in like, so when you see, for example, let's say Saka, for example, and Rashford and Sancho, who missed the penalties in the Euros final, and they're getting like abuse and stuff like that. So we'll talk a bit about the serious issues, but like how do you see the way they get treated, and like from a distance, I guess, their experiences, and if you do have any experiences of people you've spoken to, then yeah, but even just from the outside, like, how do you see them?
It's the thing where, unfortunately, I wasn't really surprised, you know. I feel like obviously not all England fans, but unfortunately some of the England fans, they're very narrow-minded in their thinking. and it's evident the way certain players like Sterling, especially Sterling, the way he gets treated, gets how he's perceived in the media. It's very evident that it's very hard to please. It's very hard to please people.
Yeah.
Especially as a black footballer. Sterling, he was probably one of the best players for England.
Yeah.
But I feel like Harry Kane, he got more reception than Sterling.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously Sterling, he got reception because he played so well and he done his thing. But I feel like any mistake, it's a thing where they won't claim him. They won't claim him like they'll claim the
white players,
the
in the team.
English players. You know, I feel like it's sad. It's sad, but at the same time, I do understand why some of these men chose to play for England rather than their home countries, because I feel like it just depends what you want from your career. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like being a black footballer, it gives you a platform. You know, it gives you a platform to inspire people and have a voice. And obviously, like Sterling from Northwest London.
Yeah.
He's made it, so he's representing
that area.
Us. But in terms of sponsorships and things like that,
it helps. Yeah.
Very obviously, it's a big country. It's a big step for football.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I always said this: like, if I had the choice, say I was playing in the Prem and I had the choice to play for England or Sierra Leone, and I've made my money. Yeah. I've made my money in the Prem. It's not so. It wouldn't be a money decision for me. I would have my bread already. I would always choose Sierra Leone, you know, because like I said, I feel like the benefits you get from playing from your African country far outweighs the playing for England.
England, yeah.
Like you mentioned, the way the fans treat the black players, some of the black players, like the racism. These men are cheering when they score. Yeah. Now they miss the penalty. People are
monkey emojis.
Monkey. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I think these people are drunk. Like they're putting under their own players, but end of the day, what can we do?
Yeah, no, it's mad. And just touching on a couple of things you said. So yeah, one of our listeners actually had a direct question about the Kane Sterling thing, like how, like when it was Sterling and Saka basically carrying England through the group stage round of 16, but then the moment Harry Kane scored, all the front pages was Harry. Even the Germany game, that's what it was, where like Sterling broke the deadlock, but because Kane scored like the second goal, and it was like him on all the pages, and it was just one front page with Sterling and stuff like that. And yeah, just it's very evident to see, and it's sad to see that even someone like Lewis Hamilton, like the other day, like I think he won the British Grand Prix, but there was a bit of controversy with it, and immediately he got, you know, tons of racist abuse. Someone like Rashford, who's, you know, been fighting politicians, feeding kids, doing all these things. Again, they're jumping on him as soon as like he does something wrong, and it's like it's not even like you have to even do things to the level of like Sterling and Rashford, what they've done for their community. Like, you can just be an average Joe in the street, you still should get that respect as, you know, as a black person, as a white person, whoever. But it's even more so the fact that them man have done such amazing things, and you're still not giving them any level of respect that you would to someone else. It's a crazy culture,
man. Indeed, it's crazy, but like we said, us black people, as growing up, they've always said we have to work twice as hard as the white, you know. Started that advantage. So, like I mentioned, there's no way to justify racism. I feel like it's never acceptable. The only thing players can do is make a stand, which is what they're trying to do, and just prove it, just doing their thing, you know, just focusing on the positivity and not letting the negativity and the racism stop them from achieving their greatness, which I feel like they're doing a job at. I feel like that's one of the best ways to get one up on the haters, you know. You just continue do your thing. Like you said, continue to inspire people, continue to get your money, continue to look after your family, and you're good.
No, facts. And just one more thing before we move on to part two with some more listeners' questions. One question from Naomi, so shout out Muller Cakes. She was basically saying in what you touched on, yeah, shout out Muller Cakes every time. She asked a question about the black players for England. Like, should they have? So you spoke about them taking a stand. Should they have done stuff like, I don't know, potentially turn off like the Instagram comments, that kind of thing, or do you think like that as a solution would have been like, I don't know, kind of deflecting the problem because it's going to come back eventually? Like, do you think they kind of dealt with things in the right way? And do you think like how did you see like everyone's response to that? Because I saw a lot of people like responding quite well, but it's kind of like it felt like too little, too late a little bit.
Nah, I feel like it was a thing where the truth needed to come out. You know, these are situations where the truth comes out. You know, when people are open to express their opinions. Like you know when people are upset, that's when their real truth comes out.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's like all the stuff like the police brutality in America. They can get swept under the rug, you know. Like people got these racists, they've got their issues inside, but obviously when things are going well, it's like they've got their internal hate, but it doesn't come out. So I feel like things like this, it just brings forward the issues that go on in society, and I feel like turning off the comments, I feel like it would have done more bad than good, because I feel like this needed to come out. So everyone becomes aware, black people and other people, and two, just so people can start thinking of ways to make a stand.
No, thanks, bro. We'll wrap up part one there. So yeah, thanks for the conversation, Kevin. And we'll move on to part two. Join us next week where we're going to talk about more about Kevin's Chelsea career and some other listeners' questions that you guys have sent in. So make sure you're subscribed, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
#BTH Pod.